Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business psychology and marketing and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with Laura Rubinstein, who is an award winning social media and marketing strategist, certified hypnotherapist, master leadership coach, speaker, and best selling author of the book Social Media Myths, The Small Business Guide to Online Revenue. She is the founder of Social Buzz Club, the influencer marketing platform that uses gamified content sharing to help your content go viral. Laura has developed marketing and branding strategies for more than 1,000 businesses, celebrities, coaches, financial advisors, speakers, and authors across the globe, helping them create more profits and brand popularity. Her profit generating strategy and popular blog at transformtoday.com make her a highly sought after speaker and consultant. Laura, how you doing today? And let me know anything I missed.
Oh, I'm great. You got it. I love helping thought leaders and experts and people who find technology a burden to become highly well known and sought after and increase their profits. I mean, that's just the bottom line of what I love doing and who I help.
Super. That is excellent. So let's get into it. Um, I like starting off with asking this because it's kind of a sets where people think they are or ought to be and lets them relate to other people that have already been down that road. So if you could go back in time and you could change one business or life decision, first off, would you change it? And if you would change it, what would you change it to?
You know, it's a hard question to think about one thing. And I look back on my life and it looks almost like the yellow brick road. You know, it looks like perfectly crafted, in hindsight to get me from where I was to where I am. So
Right.
the first thing that comes to mind is really nothing. But then I thought about it a little bit more and I'm thinking, okay, well, there are some shiny objects maybe I wouldn't have gone after. and
I
there's a
know
house
that. Yeah.
and there's a house I would have bought sooner. So
Okay.
those are kind of some of they're very not in the big picture important things. So I think that when we take a look at our life and we learn from each along each step of the way, that you there's no going back anyway. So it's like would have I changed something? Maybe I just couldn't tell you what it would be because even the hard times had gold in them,
Yeah. No,
and
yeah, I
and I
know that
treasure them for that gold.
because you wouldn't be who you are, where you are, if you didn't see that or didn't go through that or experience it. Yeah. And just to let you know and the listeners know is that is a lot more common than I would have thought of an answer when I started doing this. I would say half or more than half of the entrepreneurs, business people that have achieved some level of success in their definition of it, they have that same attitude. I wouldn't be who I am without all that. So
Right.
I don't know if what I would change. I mean, because I don't know where I'd be.
Well, I think something to think about for listeners is when I'm sitting with a hypnosis client, for example, and they're struggling in this moment in time with something,
Hmm.
if we can take a little bit of a broader view and actually savor it and really dive deeper into it, we can get that gold.
Hmm.
And so I want to offer that as a piece of hope. This too will pass, and it may pass really with some really beautiful outcomes. So, that's really kind of the takeaway for me. And when you asked that lesson, it was like, yeah, now that I can sit back and if I can only sit with it, then I'm good.
Hmm. Okay, that is a great way to do it, to put it. So kind of related to that, if you could go back again and you could see all the really super positive decisions that you made. I mean, something that really defined a dividing line between, and you look at your life as, okay, everything that happened before it and everything that happened after it. Do you have one of those that you could share?
Yeah, choosing to be an entrepreneur for sure. And not trying to force myself to go back into corporate America. Corporate America or the universe gave me clear messages. You know,
Don't go there.
don't go there. After a couple of layoffs and one boss saying to me, "We want you in a different department," in a department that made no sense for me personally. I mean, it made
Hmm.
sense to him, but it made no sense to me. I I'm really glad I worked through my fear and chose to be the entrepreneur and took it one step at a time and set myself up right from the beginning with that, a financial base, and then, you know, worked on it and really allowed myself to receive the opportunities that came my way. Really worked out. And it really helped that in corporate America, I used my experiences in corporate America and in network marketing. Because while I was in corporate America, I knew I wasn't like ecstatic about being there. So network
Hmm.
marketing came into my life, and even though I was super shy, I took it on, and it was probably the greatest personal growth training I got, so that I was able to climb the corporate ladder to
Hmm.
a level of management because of the growth I got through the network marketing. So in combination,
Yeah.
that also gave me the strength to become an entrepreneur full time.
Okay. That is a great, I hadn't heard anybody talk about network marketing but I can see how that it would do that. Because
Oh,
if you're going to be successful in network marketing, you got to move forward. I mean,
if
you
you
cannot
have
sit
no
there.
entrepreneurial training, network marketing is not a bad place to start because it
Yeah.
helps you build those enrollment skills and the sales skills you need. Because if you don't have that as an entrepreneur, you're kidding yourself that you're
Yeah.
not a salesperson, right?
We're all salespeople. And that's what a lot of people starting out. And I really appreciate you saying that. And I think everybody needs to listen to that. If you don't understand that, look into it and understand why, because it is super, super
And
important.
I hate to use the term salesperson because that I know I just felt like people cringing while I'm listening,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So, like, it's really about being a better service provider to more people, right? And
Hmm.
network marketing, you have to do that. You can't just be, you could try to be slick salesy, but I got a lot of doors slammed in my face as a shy person. That was horrifying, but I did it, and I learned,
Hmm.
oh, that's not how I want to do it, you know?
Hmm.
And I, then took on the training a little bit more seriously and then learned how to develop relationships that led to sales. And that is what network marketing helped me do. So did some personal development courses helped me to do. And it's an inside job, really.
Yeah. No, absolutely it is. I mean, if we, it's what I tell people that when this type of conversation comes up is that if we're not willing to promote ourselves, one, you're, like you said, you're probably in the wrong business. But look at all the people that you respect that are successful in your definition. And I'm talking to listeners in their definition. How many of them can't or don't promote themselves? Zero. I mean, they all do. That is a skill that anybody that is going to achieve any level of success, whether it's for profit or not for profit. I mean, some of the not for profit people I know are some of the most aggressive people I know. They
Mm.
have passion, they have belief in what they're doing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not selling to them. It is achieving what they think is going to make the world better, this group better, or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, that is super valuable information. So, when you're as you were making these decisions and you're going through, and whether they were big decisions, little decisions, um, people doing this get stuck. They don't get past the decision. They don't move past it. They don't make the decision, or they make it and it doesn't work. Do you have any tips, techniques, thoughts that you could share on how you get unstuck? And it can be little unstucks or it can be big unstucks or both.
Yeah, I do. I do the opposite of what's intuitive, to tell you the truth.
Okay, I'm waiting now because now I got to know.
I don't try to change it. I sit with the feeling. I sit to understand, and I can't like just on demand understand it, right?
Yeah.
I allow there to be a question hanging in my life while I'm feeling stuck. But the question is key. It's not like, why am I in this position?
Yeah.
It's more like, I wonder what this is about. I wonder what it's going to take to move from here to there, you know?
Hmm.
It's a difference between the gas and the accelerator, the question you ask. So
Okay.
I mean the gas and the brake. The brake is, why am I here? Why can't I have this?
Hmm.
That's the woe is me, I'm staying and
I can't
wallowing.
do
I
this.
can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's going down a negative rabbit hole. But when I say I sit with it, and I don't try to change it. I get curious about it. So I ask curious questions about where I want to go. Like, okay, I get that something doesn't feel right here. I get that I'm really upset. I get that, I want to just chew somebody out or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make it
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's problem. But what if there's another way to look at it? What is the other opening? Is there another, just keep asking questions about what's possible. And I always start the question out with, I wonder how I can have what I want, like, and what I want is this. And
Okay.
that way it starts allowing your brain to start looking for the answer. Because the answers are all in front of us. We just have to
Mm-hmm.
ask the right question. So if you're asking a question that puts the brakes on, you won't see the answer. But if you put out a question in your mind, in a journal, to somebody when you're speaking, whatever your way of processing is, then your brain can start actually seeing what's in front of you that might be answers. And it might be blue sky, that might be the answer, but you haven't seen it as the answer because you didn't ask the question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. I might even be able to use that in my copywriting because that is one of the things I get stuck at
Oh,
frequently.
and with writing and stuff, I use movement. Also movement. Like if I need to change the energy in my body, because to get into that space of curiosity,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
put on some positive music, move my body, go walking even. It just get
Yeah.
sometimes if I can find one of those monkey bars that I can hang upside down with, I will go hang
Mm-hmm.
upside down because I need to see the world in a different way. And physically it helps to do things that shift you out energetically into a different state of mind. It's super helpful.
Yes.
Try it.
Yes. In fact, that is one of the techniques that I use is a physical change that causes an emotional and a mental change
Hmm.
because I need to take that thing that because when I get stuck, I blow it up bigger than it is. It's, everything that's in
Yes.
front of me is bigger than it really is. And so by doing the physical change and getting out, just like you said, it changes my mental state,
And
which then,
yeah,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
even if you just take a couple of breaths, you know,
Okay.
with your eyes closed or sit in another chair and okay, don't take a couple, take more like 10 conscious breaths. All you're thinking about is your breath. Because, like you said, you get hyper focused on something and you make it bigger and bigger and bigger. If you focus
Hmm.
on your breath, that gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Got it.
And then you can
Got
look
it.
at it with a rational mind or from a different perspective.
That is super. I want to remember that one myself. Okay. Last question and kind of a wrap up of everything. And you've probably already answered some of it in a way, but maybe not quite this way. If you had to start over and you had your knowledge that you had today, all the experience, all the things that you didn't change when you had the chance to go back in time, what would you do?
My first reaction is don't make me start over, but I've learned but I've learned glorious lessons along the way. But one
Hmm.
thing I would do, it's kind of a deep thing. I don't know I can really do it. It could really be done like if there was a reset button. I'd work on my self-esteem
Okay.
earlier, way earlier, and my fears way earlier. I feel like having, whatever self-esteem I had as a child and the fears that were born out of that really caused me unnecessary experiences. I don't, like
Hmm.
I could have had more self-expression as a person earlier with that self-esteem.
Well, I mean, I think that is huge. I think that is, again, for the listeners, please understand this. That I mean, I talk to a lot of coaches. I'm a SCORE volunteer. I've been a SCORE volunteer in Denver for 3 years now. I literally talked to over 100 different business owners just starting out, startups, and plus I'm a business coach and I do internet marketing for businesses. So I talk to tons of business owners, and I can tell you from experience that what you just said is probably the most either limiting or not limiting feature of an individual that there is. If an individual I talk to, and you can tell when you're talking to them after a while, you get used to it, that if they if they are down, if they believe that the world is against them or the fates are against them, it's somebody else's fault. They will never make it. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be harsh, but it's true. Now, the people that are just the flip side of that, that really don't see anything in their way, they don't feel self-conscious. They just go and, oh, I fell down. Okay, I get back up, keep going. Those kind of people, they will always make it. I mean, almost every time. If they fail, it doesn't slow them down. It doesn't stop them. They just keep going. They do something different. But that, I cannot express how huge what you just said is. So thank you very much for putting it that way, because nobody really has put it that way yet. You're it.
There's a reason I'm a hypnotherapist as well. I'm not just a marketer. I understand people's motivations, and I did my own work. I have a lot of work to do. I'm not sure why. I didn't come up in a bad household or anything, but I definitely was given, this predisposition to not liking myself early on, and or that just came about by whatever my brain did, and then I slowly had to work my way out of that, self loathing area, and into someplace beautiful and loving and kind. And I remember when I was in this kind of soul searching journey, in the thick of it. I think I'm always in the soul searching journey at this point, because I have this curious nature. I really started to take it on wholeheartedly. And I saw people who were expressing love so freely and easily. And I go, boy, I think it would be great to tell
How
somebody,
can I? Oh, I know. I
someone I
remember.
love them just because they're right in front of me, not because it's this whole scary process, because I'm afraid of being loved. So I just enjoyed, I just savored it, even though sometimes I felt really bad about myself. But then to slowly come out of it and really seeking all the different ways, including hypnosis, including meditation, including just mentors I had with brilliant concepts and self-help books. And some of those self-help books, though, I will warn you, do a number on your self-esteem. So, and those programs. But I
Yeah.
learned that too. And so, like, I learned so much. I have so much in my toolbox for people to help them. And I just love letting people know the magnificent beings they are. Because when you take that breath in and you know that you're here not by accident, that there's a miracle that had to happen to create you, it's like, it's awesome. It's just an awesome feeling. And I mean that in two different words, not one word.
No, I get it. I get it. It is awe. I mean, I am in awe of that.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, and as you described, you climbed out of it. I thought that was super intuitive and important that you said that, because I mean, we get a lot of signals every day that, oh, we're not perfect. If we buy this or we take this or we do this, we'll be better. And it's a marketing ploy, but you see it all the time. And just
Yes.
my personal opinion is you do have to pull yourself out of it. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's not a destination, it's a journey, and it's an okay journey. Don't worry about it. Just keep moving
It's
forward.
an important journey.
Oh, super, super. And it's fun too.
It can
Once you get
be.
in and you start seeing all the things that, oh, I missed that before. I mean, it's fun to me.
It can be. It can be
It
very,
can be.
very
It's not
scary. And
always.
I will
It
tell
can
you,
be scary.
some of the most profound moments I've had are within counseling and therapy. And I think everybody, can have a therapist full time on staff, that we'd have a so much healthier population here. People who treat each other well. And the only reason people don't treat each other well is because they are suffering and they are projecting their own suffering out. And
Exactly.
it's so sad to see, anytime somebody lashes out, I can tell exactly what's going on with them internally. It's really obvious to me because I've been there and I've seen it and I know how to deal with it. And I only wish that person wanted the help to get to the place of feeling happy, because, I heard a very interesting quote. You can't insult a happy person.
Interesting. I have not heard that one. That's a
Can't
good one.
insult. I don't know who said it. My husband says it all the time. But you can't insult a happy person, because just think about it. If somebody insulted you in a way that said, "Oh, your blue shirt is ugly," you're like, "What are you talking about?" It's like,
So,
I like my blue shirt. That's your problem. But somebody else who's very self-conscious and doesn't really know if they like what they like, then it would be like, "Oh, really? oh gosh, I'm such a dweeb or whatever, you know, and then you go
Wherever.
into the negative. But if you're a happy person, you've got that esteem within you. It's like, okay, I get you don't like blue. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's about
And I,
them. It's not about me, and
mhm.
what they think is really not much of my business. That's good, you know.
And I want to close with that because that is a super thought. You cannot insult a happy person. I'm going to make sure that is in the show notes. So, well, thank you very, very much. Really appreciate your time. Um, thanks to everybody for listening. Is there anything that you want to close with, let the listeners know, anything that you could help them with or offer them that might help them?
Yeah, as a marketer, I love people help get their message out in a way that's effective. And one of the biggest things thought leaders aren't able to do is craft their messages that get people to draw them in. So I have a free
Hmm.
ebook. It's called How to, Find the Crave, Get the Rave. And
Okay.
and the subtitle is How to Craft Messages That Magnetize Your Market. So if you go to transformtoday.com/cravebook, transformtoday.com/cravebook, you'll get the opt-in to download that book.
Okay. Super. And I will make sure that that's in the show notes and in the description for anywhere that we post the audio or video. So,
Right.
again, thank you very much. Again, thanks everybody for listening or watching. Have a safe and productive week and be the very, very best you can be at whatever you are. Until next time, this is Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.